This is ATN Global News at 9. First, the headlines. Fubara launches health insurance scheme. APC counter Ganduje's purported suspension. Wike donates security equipment to DSS. Police, Nigeria inflation rose to 33.20% in March. UN chief condemns Iran's attack on Israel. Singapore Okoye hints of remarrying. Iwobi equals Kanu's assist record. Now the news in details. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has launched the state's health insurance scheme known as the Rivers State Contributory Health Protection Program. The governor said the CHPP was designed to offer households a measure of financial protection against healthcare costs and help resolve inequality in the provision of available services. Fubara charged managers of the scheme to be unbiased in their administration, insisting that the most vulnerable in the society should not be deprived of accessing critically needed healthcare services. The governor unveiled CHIS shortly after inaugurating the Comprehensive Primary Health Center in Indoni Town in Ogba Igbema, Indoni local government area. He said the scheme must foster inclusive and equitable healthcare access for the people of the state. Analysts have called on the federal government to set up modular refineries across oil-producing states in the region as a tool to crude oil protection and job creation. Speaking on Atlantic Television Blowout, a public affairs analyst, George Idumage, emphasized on the need for the federal government to set up workable modular refineries in oil-producing states to help reduce crude oil theft for a better economy.
Some years back, I think that was even before Jonathan became president, the federal government proposed the establishment of modular refineries to accommodate these artisans, the youths. You know, what we are talking about is livelihoods and empowerment of the youths. Now, the youths we have creative youths in the Niger Delta, and these youths are not deploying their skills and energies in the right way. So what was proposed then was the establishment of modular refineries. And 15 years down the line, we are not seeing the modular refineries.
On his part, Ndamzi Ekulo tasked the government on the review and implementation of the policy for accessible state-of-the-art modular refineries.
And build or construct something similar to a modular refinery. And believe me, what we have flooded in the society today is made from this modular refinery, because what the government brings in is not enough. You can hardly find pure AGO in the system today. So this product comes from what these artisans produce in the creeks. So I would rather, advise the government to revisit that policy of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. There should be talks ongoing.
Recall that the air component of Operation Delta Safe has destroyed 7 illegal refining sites at different locations in Rivers State. Independent Electoral Commission on Monday issued certificates of return to winners of the April 6 local government area elections. The handing of the certificates of returns to the 80 local government council chairman and their vice, all of the ruling People's Democratic Party, took place at the NUJ Press Center, Yenagoa. Chairman of BISEC, Dr. Peter Singabele, said the event was in fulfillment of the Commission's mandate to issue certificates of return, which is the last step on the part of BISEC in the 2024 election. Speaking on behalf of the elected chairman, the chairman-elect Yenegua local government area, Bulo Diseye Indiwara, thanked BISEC for the successful and smooth conclusion of the exercise. He commended the party for finding them worthy of using the platform to win the election, congratulating party supporters and Bayelsans for voting them in. Chief Press Secretary to Governor knows that the 1.4 billion naira has brought the total amount of gratuities paid so far by Governor Eno since assumption of office to 16.1 billion naira. Operatives of the Imo State Police Command Anti-Kidnapping Unit have apprehended a notorious kidnap kingpin, Aralu, took the operatives to the hideout of the suspect at Nbd in Oru East Local Government of Imo State on Monday, where he was ambushed and eventually arrested. The suspect was paraded at the command's headquarters. Owerri was said to have masterminded several kidnapping and armed robbery operations in Imo State. Speaking to newsmen on Monday, the command spokesperson Henry Okoye said on searching his hideout, one ash-colored Toyota Camry 2005 model reportedly snatched from the victim was recovered. He further said that the suspect would be arraigned in court upon completion of a comprehensive investigation. Nigerian Police Force Zone 13 headquarters Ukbo Dinukofia has notified candidates from Anambra and Enugu State that the police recruitment medical screening exercise for both general duty and specialist constables will take place at the police hospital, Central Police Station, Oka, Anambra State. This was contained in a statement issued by the command's public relations officer, Josephine Ihuwo, on Monday, adding that the exercise has been fixed for April 16 to April 30, 2024. The Zone 13 headquarters comprises police formations in Anambra, Enugu, and some parts of Ebonyi State. The command said the successful applicants shortlisted in the conducted physical and credential screening were slated for Tuesday, March 5th and Wednesday, March 6, 2024 for the CBT. Ndukwe said the centers for the CBT exercise included Coal City University CBT Center, Abakaliki Road, Enugu State College of Education, Abakaliki Road, Enugu and Fortress Digital Learning Management Center, Premier Layout, near Dunamis Church, New Artisan, Enugu. Ahead of the November 16 gubernatorial election in Ondo State, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the All Progressives Congress in the Southwest Zone will continue to work with stakeholders to ensure the APC remains the party of choice. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who is the APC Zonal Coordinator for Southwest, said members of the National Working Committee and Zonal Working Committee in the zone had resolved to intervene on issues and engage with critical stakeholders to ensure they were not only taken care of, but also enjoyed the dividends of democracy. It will be recalled that the APC National Chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, inaugurated and presented letters to 6 governors at the party headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday, March 26, to coordinate party activities and reconcile aggrieved members of the party in each of the 6 geopolitical zones. Speaking to journalists after a meeting with the APC National and Zonal Executive members from the Southwest at Lagos House Marina, to the responsibility by working with the entire team to reposition and strengthen the party in the Southwest. Governor Sanwo-Olu was handed a congratulatory letter on his appointment as the zonal coordinator for APC Southwest by the officials said the inaugural meeting with the party's national and zonal executives was to deliberate and come up with far-reaching decisions that will put the party on its feet and the right pedestal. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Monday charged 5 defendants before a federal high court in Lagos over an illegal deal in petroleum products. The defendants are Vinalaris, Aziz Abubakar, Wisdom Bobole, amongst others. After the charge was read to them, they pleaded guilty. Following their plea, the prosecutor, Mr. R.A. Abdurrashid, informed the court that the prosecution had filed the plea bargain agreement with the defendants before the court. Consequently, the court adjourned the case until April 25 for adoption of plea bargain agreement. The court, however, ordered that the defendants remain in custody of the prosecution till then. Police in Lagos State have confirmed the arrest of a Nigerian Army Lance Corporal attached to 159 Battalion in Yobe for allegedly stabbing a commercial motorcyclist in the abdomen. The command spokesperson, SP Benjamin Hudain, confirmed the arrest on Monday. He said that the Ikorodu Police Division received a report from the Chief Security Officer of a lounge. The image maker said the CSO reported that on Saturday at about 2 a.m., the suspect, named withheld, a 7-member of the Nigerian Army, allegedly used a gun-like jackknife to stab one Sahid Issa, a commercial motorcyclist. The suspect has been arrested with the exhibit knife. Investigation is ongoing. Coroner Magistrate Mikhail Kadiri, inquiring into the cause of death of the late student of Dowen College, Lagos, Sylvester Oromoni, has cleared the school and its students of any wrongdoings. They returned a verdict that the deceased died a natural death. In a judgment that lasted over 6 hours, the coroner also held that the death was, however, avoidable, as the negligence of the parents and the medical team also contributed to it. Magistrate Kadiri observed some students of Dowen College named in the incident, as he concluded that they played no part in the death of Sylvester and should not have been involved in the matter. He also called for a synergy between the police and the medical team going forward, as well as for the police force to ensure due caution before arrests are made. He further recommended that the management of Dowen College should ensure proper documentation of entry and exit of students out of the hostel, as well as proper psychological evaluation for the 5 students suspected to have bullied the deceased. Security agents in Ondo State have placed on red alert to ward off any incursion into the state by the Odua Nation agitators and any other miscreants. There has been no incidents or activities of Yoruba Nation's agitators in Ondo State. Under commandment of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Commandant Ibiloye Oluyemi, who ordered divisional officers and tactical teams to be on standby and red alert, said the command was committed to safeguarding life and property and ensuring the protection of critical national assets and infrastructure. He said Intelligence Department, Armed Squad, Counter-Terrorism Unit, Rapid Response Squad and operations were to be on red alert to ensure that the security breach that took place in Oyo State does not happen in Ondo State, especially now that the various political parties are having their rallies with mixed crowds in attendance. Also, Ondo Police spokesperson Fumilayo Odulami Omisonya said policemen have been deployed to strategic places to ward off any attack. Ekiti State High Court, sitting in Ado-Ekiti, has sentenced one Dipo Femi to 27 years imprisonment for conspiracy, burglary, and stealing. The 22-year-old convict was arraigned before Justice Blessing Ajileye on 19th of July 2022 on a 5-count charge bordering on conspiracy, burglary, and stealing, contrary to sections 421, 324, and 302 of the Criminal Laws of Ekiti State 2021. According to the charge, Dipo Femi and others now at large on 14th of March 2022 at Oke Ureje Polytechnic Road, Ado-Ekiti, conspired and broke into the shops of Victor Mack, Clement Moses, and Samuel Lucky. To prove his case, the prosecutor, Kuleshina Adeyemo, called 4 witnesses and tendered the defendant's statement. In his judgment, Justice Blessing Ajileye said she would not hesitate to hold that the prosecution had proved beyond reasonable doubt the basic elements of the stealing against the defendants, and so hold. Ekiti State government has appointed 23 justices of peace to enhance justice delivery at the grassroots level and deepen peaceful coexistence in the state. Speaking on Monday in Ado-Ekiti at the one-day workshop organized for the 23 justices of peace, The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Ekiti State, Dayo Apata, said that the nominees were selected having been adjudged worthy of being honored with the title. Attorney General noted that the 23 nominees were carefully chosen by the government to ensure that the state is better as it relates to the administration of justice. Apata admonished the nominees to use their appointments to promote peace and delivery of uncompromising justice in their respective communities and areas of jurisdiction. He equally implored them to see their appointments as a responsibility toward the promotion of peace, the rule of law, and the deepening of good governance in their communities. Benue Internal Revenue Service has said that the hoodlums intercepted 2 trucks of palliative and manhandled the drivers in the process. Acting Chairman of BIRS, Emmanuel Agema, disclosed this while addressing newsmen in Makurdi. He stated that the hoodlums posed as revenue officials at a collection point close to Aliade, Gwe East local government area in Benue State, when the unsuspecting drivers conveying palliative from Adamawa to the eastern part of the country ran into their ambush. Agema said the hoodlums stopped the vehicles, broke their windscreen, and stole the sum of 200,000 naira from one of the drivers at the illegal tax collection point. According to him, 2 persons have been arrested and transferred to the Department of State Services on the governor's directive that a thorough investigation be carried out to fish out those behind illegal tax collection in the state. Independent National Electoral Commission on Monday tendered electoral documents against the petition by the Social Democratic Party and its candidate Murtala Ajaka, challenging the election victory of Governor Usman Ododo. INEC's counsel Uche Nanjoku, who held the brief of Chief Kanu Agabi, tendered the documents before the Kogi State Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja. It would be recalled that the INEC conducted the Kogi governorship election on November 11, 2023. However, the SDP and its governorship candidates in the poll are challenging the declaration of Ododo of the All Progressives Congress as the winner of the poll. In the petition, INEC, Ododo, and APC are listed as first to third respondents respectively. The judge adjourned for the matter until April 16 for continuation of hearing. FCT area councils has received number of motorcycles to be shared to the security agencies in order to end insecurity issue in Abuja. Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, did the handing over of motorcycles today in Abuja, while promising the residents of Abuja that security is a priority of Mr. President, and therefore his administration will always protect the lives and properties in FCT. Our correspondent Joseph Moses reports.
The FCT area councils have received a number of motorcycles to be shared to the security agencies like the police and vigilantes and other groups in order to end FCT security issues. According to the Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, the security made a request of specialized motorcycle to help fight insecurity in the rural areas of FCT, which he said 10 motorcycles should be given to each area councils, 30 to the police, 5 for DSS, 5 for Civil Defense Corps, and others for vigilante group, warning that the motorcycles must not be used in the city of Abuja except the rural areas.
Remember that the security agencies requested for a specialized motorcycle that we use particularly in the rural areas. The vigilantes will use them in the 6 area councils, and then the police, the SSS, and the civil defense will also want to do with theirs. But let me caution, particularly to the security agencies. I don't want to hear stories tomorrow that the motorcycles are nowhere to be found again. I don't want to hear such stories. Because sometimes when you give out vehicles, before you know it, the vehicles are no longer there. Please utilize these motorcycles to fight crime in the areas you have identified. So we'll give out 10 to each of the councils. We'll give out 30 to the police, 5 for SSS, 5 for civil defense. But like I said, don't use it in the cities here. If I find out that you are using these motorcycles in the city, I'll find a way and take them back. Go and use it in the rural areas. They need protection, and that's what we are doing.
The minister further promised the residents of Abuja that the security is the priority of Mr. President, and therefore his administration will always protect the lives and properties in FCT, assuring the security agencies a provision of vehicles in 2 weeks' time to make their work easier.
We have promised the residents of Abuja and the area councils that security is a priority for the New Hope agenda. Anything we can do to protect life and property, we are going to do it. So I urge you to use it well and take it not for commercial purposes, not for commercial purposes. For vehicles, we believe by the next 2 weeks, the vehicles would have been ready to give out to the security agencies too. So make sure for us, we will not relent until those who said we will not sleep, they will also not sleep. So 10 each for. I'm not commissioning anything. I don't commission motorcycles. So please.
Joseph Moses, ATN News, Abuja.
In the meantime, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has assured that the official residence of the Vice President under construction in Abuja will not obstruct the flow of traffic when the project is completed. The minister made the statement when he revisited the ongoing construction works at the Vice President's official residence. According to the minister, the design and conceptualization of the VP's residence by the federal government took into consideration the flow of traffic around the area, adding that the construction work is being carried out according to specification.
Well, last time we came, I think there's an improvement as at the last visit we made, and this visit today shows there's a lot of improvement. Well, the company has still maintained the fact that they are going to hand over by that May. Ours is to hope on what they have said. They have still committed to it. We don't have any doubt that they have the capacity to meet up the deadline. But as for the quality of job, of course, you can see the work according to the design and the specification. So we believe, by the grace of God, that something that will actualize. So where he lives now, is there no access road? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, that will be worked out. Those who designed that here should be the vice president don't know why. We are not the ones who decided. It was the federal government that decided that the vice president residence should be located here. So I'm sure they took everything to consideration before deciding that. We have invited the office of an NSA, and they have taken a look at one that they have made their own input, which FCD with the contractor, Jonas Berger, have taken to cognizance and also making amendments. So that of traffic, I don't think is a problem.
He reassured that other ongoing infrastructure projects in the FCT scheduled to be completed by May next month would be actualized and open for public use, thereby making the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu Ahmed a reality in the FCT, and that the project will showcase the president's achievement within his first year in office in fulfillment of the promises he made to Nigerians.
I don't understand how important is it to us. It's very important. I let the residents know that the New Hope agenda is a reality. It's a reality because if you don't tell people this has been done, nobody will know that things have been done. If it's not a commission, none of them that it will not be open for public use. No. But let it be that, yes, this was the promise we made, and between 1 year the president came into office. This was what he was able to achieve as far as the FCT is
reiterated the commitment of the FCT administration to the provision of infrastructure in rural communities of the FCT area councils. The FCT minister said this when he was carrying out a routine inspection of ongoing road projects in the Kwali area council.
I'm sure if he was responsible for developing the rural areas, are they not part of the FCT? Are they not supposed to have a part of good governance and dividend of democracy? Development cannot only be concentrated in the city. You have to take development to the rural area. That alone can mitigate the rural-urban migration. You need to give them infrastructure to be able to develop their own. Now, take for example, if there are farmers there, how would they carry their produce to the city without, in terms of security? You can imagine where we are coming from. Now, just imagine that people were kidnapped. How would the security agencies have access to this kind of, look at the topography. So creating infrastructure, particularly road here, is key to the development of these communities, and they will feel the impact of governance. And that's the sense of the renewed hope agenda. That is not just for those in the city, it's also for those in the rural areas. I mean, for me, I feel delighted, particularly, not just city, particularly that we are taking development to the rural areas. See, look at where people reside there. Look at where people reside. I should be these bandits, for whatever you may call them, come in and pick people from there. What do? No access. And then you begin to complain against the security agencies that they are not doing their work as they are supposed to. There's an inhibition, no road. So for me, it is very important and to actualize the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, that rural communities also benefit from the dividend of democracy.
The projects inspected by the FCT minister included the 3.2-kilometer access road to the Kwali town through the satellite quarters and Angwa Hausawa areas of the town from the Abuja-Lokoja Expressway and its accompanying bridge, as well as the 11-kilometer Yangoji-Sukuku Ebo route, assuring that the projects would be completed before the end of the year, and appealed to the contractors to expedite action on the road projects.
We went to the other side, the Kwali Bridge. You can imagine for how many years that contract was awarded and abandoned, and people were cut off. There's no way to link up. That's not fair. But still happy they were that, oh, by the grace of God, come May 27th, that they are going to commission that. That is what people are looking for, good governance, to be part of government, to have the feelings that yes, there's a government in existence, not just government by them hearing. The only people recognize as government when they can feel it, when they can say yes, we have a positive impact in our lives. So I'm quite happy with what I've seen there. The job is being done by one company called Horizon. This is a very important road, not less than 11 kilometers. Look at the topography of this place, very difficult. I want to appeal to the contractor, Gimbo. I know that they have a lot of jobs in their hands, but again, they should expedite so that we'll be able to finish like they promised before the end of December this year. We believe that they'll keep to their words. And I want to thank the chairman of Kwali to continue coming here to inspect and give us feedback on what they say, not only on what the civil servants, like the permanent secretary just told us. It shows that he does not come here at all. You know, he only brings files for payment. So, chairman, try, because you see our people, if you don't do it now for them, tomorrow they will hold you responsible. I can assure you that everything that was supposed to be done, we are going to complete all these roads, so I'm very happy. Gilbo have been doing a good job. This is not the first job they are doing, so I'm not about the capacity. They are the one doing N20, which will be commissioned. They are the one doing Guzape Lot 2. So they are doing quite a lot of jobs, and I'm quite happy. Now what they are doing is the earthwork and the culverts. You said they have over 17 of such big culverts and some small ones that They want to tackle this major area, which is about 4 kilometers out of the 11 kilometers. But by the time they are done with this, they are free to go.
Kebbi State House of Assembly has suspended the member representing Benin Kebbi North constituency, Hassan Umar, for alleged unguarded utterances. This was contained in a press statement signed by the clerk of the House, Suleiman Chamaki, and made available to journalists on Monday. The statement noted that the suspension was a result of unguarded utterances and instigation of some members against the leadership of the House. The statement further listed the lawmakers' other offenses to include instigation of some members against the leadership of the House and causing disharmony between the executive and the legislature in the House. In October 2019, All Progressives Congress in Benin Kebbi local government area of Kebbi State suspended a council chairmanship aspirant, Shafiu Abubakar, over unlawful utterances. Niger State Governor Umar Bago said he had declared a state of emergency over the insecurity in the state following a resurgence of violent activities of thugs in the state capital, Minna. While speaking at a Salah Durbar festival organized by the former governor of the state, Babangida Aliyu, on his farm in Minna, he said he had directed security men to shoot at sight any thug found threatening the peace within the state. The governor's directive comes on the heels of the resurgence of the activities of thugs, which led to the death of 2 persons and several others injured on Friday night in Minna. Minna Emirates suspended its annual traditional Salah Durbar for the past 7 years due to insecurity, forcing residents and admirers of the festival to depend on the self-organized Durbar by Aliyu. However, after a long, calm, violent activities resurfaced on Friday in Minna, known to be home for violent gangs such as Yandaba, leading to the death of 2 persons and several others injured. 3 corpses of those who were allegedly killed by soldiers in Gashua town, Yobe State, were buried on Monday amidst tears and anguish. Emir of Bade, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Suleiman, and the chairman of Bade Local Government Council, Ibrahim Babangana, were among the dignitaries who attended the funeral prayers of the victims. Recall that the tragic killing of 3 civilians occurred yesterday after soldiers allegedly opened fire on peaceful protesters who were expressing their anger over the alleged reckless conduct of soldiers in the town that led to the fatal accident involving their patrol vehicle and a tricycle. Governor Mai Malabuni, who called for calm after the incident, directed free treatment to those who sustained injuries in the accident and were admitted to the specialist hospital, Gashua. According to him, those behind these senseless acts of violence must be held accountable for their actions. Nigerian Army says its troops, in collaboration with vigilantes, have apprehended a suspected gun runner in Taraba. The suspect, Mansour Mohammed, was arrested at Jalingo Motor Park for allegedly supplying weapons to terrorists. This is contained in a statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Oyema Wachuku, on Monday in Abuja. Wachuku said the troops also foiled a kidnap attempt and eliminated a terrorist during the operation. He said the arrest of Mohammed led to the nabbing of other members of the syndicate and the recovery of 1 semi-automatic pump-action gun. All Progressives Congress State Working Committee in Kano has taken drastic measures against some ward party leaders who suspended the national chairman of the party, Umar Abdullahi Ganduje. APC Ganduje ward in Dawakin Tofa local government was said to have suspended Ganduje, but in a quick counter, the party's local government officials thwarted the suspension and sacked those behind it. APC Dawakin Tofa local government chairman Inusa Dawanao told the newsman that those behind the suspension of the national chairman were caught in anti-party activities and their records of meetings with the opposition exposed. Adopting the suspension of the APC ward APC leaders, the State Working Committee of the party said they have sanctioned the perpetrators for 6 months and a special investigations panel has been set up to verify several allegations against them. Kano chairman of the party, Abdullahi Abbas, said the decisions of the local government party leaders have since been adopted. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu received on Monday 22 abducted students and staff of Federal University Gusau in Zamfara, who were rescued on Sunday. Recall that 22 people comprising 15 students and 7 workers of the university were abducted from the institution in September 2023. Ribadu said the rescue operation was coordinated by the National Counter-Terrorism Center on Sunday. Ribadu will receive the rescued victims on Monday in Abuja, urged them not to allow their experience to break them, but rather to make them stronger. He also thanked the parents of the rescued victims for their patience and understanding during the period and commended the security agencies for their tireless work and sacrifices. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
This is contained in a statement released by the spokesperson for Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Francisca Omayuli, in Abuja. Meanwhile, world leaders have also urged restraint after Iran launched an unprecedented wave of missiles and attacked drones against its arch-foe Israel overnight, at a time the Gaza war has inflamed Middle East tensions. Leaders of G7 nations unanimously condemned Iran's unprecedented attack against Israel and pledged to continue efforts to work towards de-escalation, ending the crisis in Gaza as soon as possible, notably through an immediate ceasefire, will make a difference. The leaders offered their full support for Israel, saying they were ready to take further measures in response to further destabilizing initiatives. Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic have collectively invested 100 million euros to boost the agricultural resilience of small-scale food producers in the Sahel region. The initiative aimed to make a lasting impact in the fight against desertification and land degradation and landscape and watershed management through participatory planning, effectively integrating soil, water, and biodiversity. International Fertilizer Development Center's Program Director Bijokazi Fofana announced this during the pre-launch of its new initiative Soil Values in Abuja on Monday. In 2023, the Food and Agricultural Organization said no fewer than 26.5 million Nigerians may face a food crisis between June and August 2024. The FAO country representative Dominic Kuko blamed persistent insecurity situations, such as the cost of food and agricultural inputs due to inflation for food insecurity. Minister of State for Defense Bello Matawale has challenged all appointees from the North and the current administration to come out openly and defend President Bola Tinubu or quit. Matawale specifically called on Hakim Baba Ahmed, special advisor to the president on political matters in the office of the vice president, and other leaders to take a position in support of the government. He said this following what he perceived as comments against the federal government by the former spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum, Baba Ahmed. In a Facebook post on Sunday, Baba Ahmed said it would have been better for the Tinubu administration if Matawale had listed his achievements as minister. But in a statement on Monday, Matawale said any appointee must defend and promote the administration they work for. As a crisis over who controls the soul of the People's Democratic Party rages on, a Northern group has rejected the overtures of the 2023 presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, and rooted for the leadership of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike. Just 3 days to the crucial meeting of the National Executive Council of the party, Arewa PDP Transparency Group said the recent media war over who becomes the national leader of the major opposition party to champion the affairs of the PDP in Thursday's NEC meeting was unnecessary since Wike has the capacity to turn the fortunes of the party around for good. A statement by Haruna Bature, national chairman of Arewa PDP Transparency Group on Monday said, leadership means care, concern and responsibility. It is not self-serving, not periodic and not spontaneous, adding that the PDP, as the biggest opposition party in Africa, has suffered a lot of leadership crisis, which resulted in its loss of power at the national level from 2015 to date. Batura noted that in the statement that having assessed the performances of these leaders, Arewa PDP Transparency Group says no self-serving leadership only at times of political interest, non-inclusivity, lack of concern, sustenance and responsibility in the management of the affairs of the People's Democratic Party, and hereby endorse Nyesom Wike as the national leader of the People's Democratic Party. Federal government said on Monday that it would leave no stone unturned to ensure that Nigeria has a voice in the development and regulations of artificial intelligence on the global stage. The nation gathered that the gross domestic product for artificial intelligence in the global community is expected to hit $15.7 trillion by 2030. The government said because there would soon be a global convergence on the ways and manners artificial intelligence are developed and deployed by global powers, it has become imperative for Nigeria to be an active participant. Minister of Communications, Innovations and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, made the remarks at the Digital Economy Complex in Mbora, Abuja, during the opening ceremony of a 4-day workshop on National Artificial Intelligence Strategy organized by the ministry. Tijani, who praised the sponsors of the program and other development partners, said Nigeria should show leadership from the perspective of Africa on how AI is deployed. Federal Capital Territory High Court has dismissed an application by former Minister of Power and Steel Olu Agoloye seeking the invitation of the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, to participate in the proceedings. Agoloye, who served under President Olusegun Obasanjo, was arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on 7 counts bordering on fraudulent award of contract and official corruption. AFCC specifically accused Agoloye of awarding a contract to build a 3,960 megawatts Mambila hydroelectric power station on build, operate, and transfer to Sunrise Power and Transmission Company without budgetary provision and approval. Ruling on the application on Monday, Justice Jude Onwebuizie held that there was no need for sanction should have come from the court rather than the defendant if necessary. At the number of registered PCMs, the various orientation camp capacities cannot accommodate the large meteorological conditions. The purpose of this system is to establish a structure that can effectively identify and block unqualified applicants, ensure food adherence to fiscal policies, and offer a comprehensive analysis of how tax incentives impact the economy. The finance minister revealed that the IMEP offers several key days after the Naira emerged as the best performing currency in April, according to the Goldman Sachs. Recall that on Friday, the Naira by all parties and warned that neither the region nor the world could afford another war. According to the latest reports, Iran launched hundreds of drones and missiles from its territory toward Israel, with most intercepted on Saturday. Several missiles reportedly struck within Israeli territory, one which damaged an Israeli military facility in the south of the country. The UN chief said that the UN chief said that he was deeply alarmed by the very real danger